Bloomberg Audio Studios.
Podcasts, radio, news.
Of course, a lot of people jumping into the AI space, some with some whack ideas and some with some creative ones, including our next guest. 7-time Grammy winner Will.I.Am is using artificial intelligence to amplify the listening experience. He's launching a new feature to his FYI.AI platform called Radio FYI. It's an interactive tool that allows listeners to chat and personalize a radio interface. So let's get it started with the man of the hour. Joining us right now is Will.I.Am. Of course, you know him as the founder of the Black Eyed Peas music group. How you doing, Will? Great to have you here. Love the glasses. Talk to me about how the radio listening experience, or really just the music listening experience, changes with something like Radio FYI.
Yeah, if you think about radio, radio changed my life. Right now, there's millions of cars being deployed and being made. And if you think about, like, as we speak, somebody's putting an FM, AM antenna into a car because people still listen to radio. And radio hasn't been innovated since satellite radio. And so now with our architecture, we're able to allow the listener to engage with the presentation. It's no longer a one-way street or sometimes half a street when you're able to call into a station. This radio architecture allows for one to many. Millions of conversations at the same time during the same segment for as deep of a conversational tree that you want to take it towards. So you can turn the radio station to a politics station, a sports station. You can ask any question at any time about the song, about current events, breaking news. It's truly transformational.
Well, that's what I'm curious about. I mean, I think we're around the same age. So I grew up at a time when you did have a little bit more interaction with radio DJs, whether it's calling in or just being able to really connect with them in a way that I think has been lost, at least with normal terrestrial radio here. How is this going to compete, though, with the Spotifys and the streaming platforms and the social media platforms that I think have grabbed the attention, certainly in my household, of my kids?
So, okay. We are assuming that radio is the same as streaming just because it's playing music, when in actuality, that's not what radio is. As much as radio is about music, it's more about local, what's happening in your community. And I don't know the last time I listened to Spotify and I figured out, when it's raining or what's going on or what just broke. That's not Spotify. Spotify is, the world's jukebox. Radio is what's happening in my community that's going to impact my life as I'm going from point A to point B, or when you're at home listening to the radio. And so what we wanted to do is take that concept and expand it 1,000-fold to where a person can not only learn about what's happening locally, but globally at will, whenever it is they want to talk about it, however they want to twist and turn their interest and turn it into meaningful action. And we're here at Dreamforce. We're about to put a sales portal on radio. Last time I checked, I have music on Spotify. When people were listening to our songs on Spotify, they can't ask the song what I meant by that lyric. And with this architecture, it also allows for artists to dream up and make amazing stations for deeper engagement. But just because it's music does not mean it's the same experience. Spotify is not the same as a concert's not the same as radio, and radio is not the same as listening to music at home back in the day when we had CDs and record players. It's never going to get back to that. It's going to go to something even deeper, more engagement, and that's what we aim to do with Radio.FYI.
It feels a little Blade Runner 2049-ish, Will. Is that what it's going to be like, a sort of personalized DJ, and maybe you change that DJ every day?
No, if you want to change DJ every day, well, it's not really a DJ, it's the entire experience. It's the DJ, it's the segments, it's the subject matter. For example, you guys report the news all the time. There's listeners that are like, what are they talking about on that segment? So what do? They take to Reddit, they take to Twitter, and they find out more, they research. But now when something is presented, I could just say, hey, what do you mean by that?
Yeah.
Can you explain that more? How does that affect me? How does that affect my community? right? So this concept of a one-way push, that's not what tomorrow looks like. And it's not sci-fi like Blade Runner or some far off distant time. This is right now.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, exactly. How are you going to monetize it? Will people pay for this experience?
We'll monetize it with new ad units. So with every new innovation comes new ways to monetize. So right now you're going to break to commercial, and that commercial is going to be maybe people paid attention to the commercial. Maybe it translated to some sale, right? In this case, if you're interested in that, you will then ask like, yo, tell me more about this product. Mm-hmm. And now the system is your sales agent. So everything is going to change with this type of architecture. And I'm so happy that we had the insight and the skills and the talent to be able to materialize this ideation and deploy.
Why do you think it's taken us so long to get here? I mean, I was looking at the title of your Dreamforce speech, the dawn of intelligent media. I mean, on the surface, it makes a lot of sense. But I would assume there's a cost associated with this, and obviously just a reticence among legacy media to embrace anything new. But why have it taken us so long to sort of get to this point?
It took us this long to get to the point, and thank God, salute all the folks at the that wrote that Transformer paper. Attention is everything over at Google, all that Google research. And thank you, Sam Altman and the OpenAI team for implementing, the research of that paper to create GPT, and the T in GPT stands for the Transformer. Mm-hmm. So that revolution really gave us this catapult moment that we're experiencing here. But let's look at, my industry. The other hat that I wore, where I entered the space from, and that's the world of music. The record industry created a whole new type of music. It's the reason why there's classical music. But when classical music was classical music, folks that were making it were not like, yo, I'm making classical music. It wasn't classical. It just was music. Mm-hmm. And then when the record industry came, they had to differentiate this style of music making and music experience from that style of music making and that musical experience, to the point where they deem that and call that classical music. And we're going to see the same thing for this intersection and this renaissance that we're going to experience now. That's going to be unfortunately the past. Yeah. Recorded music is the past. And it hurts my heart, but it also excites me, because now it's time for the dreamers. It's time for the innovators to dream what is the new experience. Yeah. What's the new way of songwriting? What's the new way of song listening? So you mean to tell me with AI that we're going to mimic how we used to do music? Well, AI is going to do a better job of that.
Yeah. Well, it's
going to be a great mimicker. But right now, it's not the dreamer.
Yeah.
AI is not dreaming new things up from nowhere. That's our neural network. That's what we do. So creators will always be needed in this space. Mm-hmm. And I try to push myself to be that innovator, creator around these tools, putting teams together to ideate and materialize ideations.
All right, Will. Well, this is an exciting time we live in, and an exciting product from one of the great creative minds, of course, in the music and, quite frankly, in the tech space as well. Our thanks there to Will.I.Am, of course, the founder and CEO of FYI.AI, new product, Radio FYI, hitting just now.